This is where we got to connect up on the pole to bring service to the customer. There's a motto. You got to work safely. You want to go home at the end of the night. Maybe go home a little dirtier, but make sure you go home at night.
And coming up... We're talking blizzard warning in effect Nassau County out to Suffolk County.
Even with blizzard warnings, Richard Lopos will show up for work. This veteran of 18 years installs Verizon cable, phone, and internet service to countless homes on the island.
This is where we got to connect up on the pole to bring service to the customer. That's to be mounted to the strands, to the pole then.
Lopos works in these extreme conditions, including the recent snowstorm that hit our area.
All right, good morning. Time for your forecast on the 5s, and we're talking blizzard warning in effect Nassau County out to Suffolk County, as we just mentioned. Port Jefferson down into Patchogue. Last hour, this is getting pretty interesting now. A lot of cold air mixing into the storm system.
While schools and area businesses are closed due to the winter storm, Lopos prepares for a full day in the field.
The lack of not having a snow brush. Extreme weather like this, the first thing you always want to remember is you want to be safe working out there. Just remembering that you're on the road where other people are on the road, and drive safely as you can. When you're out on the job, be extra careful with what you do, especially if you have to climb or anything. Protect yourself at all times with cones. Make sure when you're climbing, you're not climbing into an area where you can get injured. It just heightens the daily security that we normally do on an everyday basis.
First safety measure, he tests the pole's sturdiness.
Make sure the pole's safe to climb. Make sure the bottom of the pole looks good, no rot or anything. Stick a screwdriver in there, make sure it can't break through, and then test it.
Then he sets up his ladder and gets to work. In such cold weather conditions, safety is #1 concern.
There's a motto. You got to work safely. You want to go home at the end of the night. So you take everything into consideration when you're out there, and maybe go home a little dirtier, but make sure you go home at night. And that's our biggest motto here. We got to be safe out there and work safe. And again, a day like this, it just heightens that.
A close second is trying to think of warm thoughts.
Freezing already. We'll get a little warmer as we start moving up the pole.
He has a few more jobs today.
We're now back over to a plain snow event for much of the region. Glen Cove, Uniondale, this is on our Precision 1 radar, out into portions of Port Jefferson.
Yet this storm will become part of his bad weather stories while on the job. This is not the first time Lopos has had to go out in bad weather conditions.
We had a few years ago that it was supposed to be raining. We came in at lunchtime, it was pouring out. By the time we walked back out after lunch, we had 2-3 inches on the snow, and you couldn't see down the road. It was that bad. It was absolutely miserable. And another situation, again, it was raining. The next thing we knew, it dropped below 32 degrees, and everything became a sheet of ice out there. You couldn't even keep a vehicle on the road, nevertheless drive to a customer's house. It's just part of the process. It's an everyday routine. Regardless, wind, snow, rain, we're out there in it, and this is what we have to do.
While the wind, snow, and rain does have its drawbacks, Lopos reminds us of the perks.
There's good days, there's bad days. You have a day like this, but when that spring day comes and it's 75 degrees out with a slight breeze in the air, you can't beat it. You're not stuck in an office.